Hello friends, in this video I am going to talk about project financing. You are a young chartered accountant or maybe a businessman, young entrepreneur. You have conceived some idea or your company has conceived the idea. You have some project to set up, some business to set up. But as you all know and you also realize that we need to take outside support for putting up any long-term project. May it be an industry or a business with an investment on the offices, infrastructure, or an international business. You must have a report, a business report, which is called as or known as project report ready. When I say this, it doesn't mean that you are going to take only the debt. Let it be even private equity, let it be even raising funds from the other sources, but for any purpose, the project report is a must. Now, in this video, we will keep limited our discussion on the hardcore brick and mortar project so that we can justify with the timing and you can also understand in detail how the project reports are prepared, how the project financing is done. So let's say that you are setting up a factory, you have decided the location, the land can be freehold or the leasehold like in Maharashtra of MIDC. You know the cost of land, the premium paid for it. Then your technical team will tell you the requirement of your civil construction and amenities, and your architect will give an estimate of the civil work building which is going to be built. So that is the cost of your civil work, your land and building. Then comes your plant and machinery, equipment, amenities, utilities. Again here your technical team with the support of the architect, the engineers, the finance people will work out the detailed estimate. In fact, rather they will invite estimates from 2-3 parties for every equipment, every machinery, the technology, and jot it down all together. In that they will add the installation cost, the clearing and forwarding cost, the erection cost, all together become the cost of plant and machinery. So we have taken the land, the building, the plant and machinery, equipment, amenities, utilities. Now comes the turn for contingency, because these are the estimates. The project implementation may take 1 year, 2 year, 1.5 year, we don't know by that time if there is any escalation in the cost. So we provide approximately 10% for the contingency of building and plant and machinery. You may take even 5%, it's all depending upon the situation of the case. Then comes the pre-operative expenses, because during the construction period, during the implementation period, whatever loan which is taken to implement the project, you have to pay interest on that. Then administrative expenses, managerial expenses, and the expenses incurred which cannot be directly attributable to the land, building or plant and machinery, are all coupled together and made under the head of pre-operative expenses, which are later amortized or allocated to different asset class. So this is the total cost of project. But in order to ascertain that how much funds this project require, we have to also add in this the working capital margin. How to calculate working capital requirement? We'll talk little later about it. But in this cost of project, you have to take only the margin for working capital, and after you add the margin, it becomes the total cost of project which is required to be funded. Now, how this cost will be funded? So one is the equity contribution by the promoters of the company. Equity can be at par, it can be at premium depending upon the valuation as on that date. Then comes the unsecured loan which the promoters raise from their own resources, and then comes the term loan component, which is a very important component, and if there is any incentive available, other things as a means of finance, it is added in the means of finance. In case of a running industry which is going for expansion, in that case even the cash accruals from the existing activity can also be taken as a means of finance under the head capital or the resources which are raised by the promoters. So this is the total means of finance. Now how do you arrive generally as per the standard norms, as per the thumb rule, to this means of finance? Suppose your project cost as estimated above is say 10 crores rupees. Generally the banks in India and the financial institutions, they fund about 70 to 75% of the cost of fixed assets towards term loan. So once you take that, the remaining portion the promoters only have to brought in either by way of capital or unsecured loan or from the internal cash accruals. So this is how this means of finance are framed. Now how the loan, what is the duration of loan period, how it is payable, we will cover it little later. After this we come to the actual calculation of the future profitability from this project, from which we will come to know whether this project can service the debt, the loan, or can earn money towards the capital which has been deployed. For that you have to make the total profitability estimates and arrive at a ratio which is known as DSCR, debt service coverage ratio. Debt means the principal repayment as well as the interest on debt, which is also required to be covered, and it is not only covered at par. The coverage ratio should be 1.5 times or 2 times depending again upon the project, the nature of the project. So friends, this is how in the project finance you frame the total cost of project, means of finance, fund it, check it from the DSCR ratio whether the project is viable to fund, and then take the decision accordingly. In our next video we will cover the actual calculation of the profitability, various ratios, and how do you make the total application for a bank or an institution for loan or a presentation to a private equity investor. Thank you.